What is the story of the Rebbe and the umbrella? What is the story of the Rebbe and the umbrella? The fact is that Rebbe did not use an umbrella. I remember, mamish, the latest years, the Rebbe would allow them to put an umbrella over him when he stood outside, maybe by a Lag Ba'omer parade. But the Rebbe did not use an umbrella. He refused. He would walk in the pouring rain without an umbrella. And when people would ask him about it, he had a variety of different answers. He would say, have you ever seen a soldier with an umbrella? He would say, Hashem is raining down rain of bracha, gishmei bracha, and you want to block it. These kinds of things. What's interesting is that I know for a fact that the Rebbe would tell people other than himself to also not use an umbrella. There was a woman who came to my classes years ago who told me that she knew a woman who was an assistant to the Rebbe's mother. I'm assuming she was a frum lady, but she was not a Lubavitcher woman. I think she was quite modern. And the Rebbe told her not to use an umbrella, never to use an umbrella. And he gave her the reason, because rain is a bracha, and you don't want to block it. So this is what I understand about the Rebbe and umbrellas. The Rebbe personally would not use an umbrella, ever, from what I understand. And when he was confronted about it, he had a variety of different explanations for why he didn't use an umbrella. But what's interesting is he would, on occasion, actually say to other people, I can't believe you're using an umbrella, One of my colleagues told me that he witnessed an occasion where the Rebbe and the Rebbitzin walked out of 770 as a couple to go home. And by the way, I might as well explain this. When the Rebbitzin's mother, Rebbitzin Hamadina, was alive, she would come to see her mother often. And after she went upstairs to see her mother, she would go into the Rebbe's room to her husband and talk. And if it was not a night of Yechidus, the Rebbe would sometimes go home with her. She drove the car and they would go home together. And I want to point out that the Rebbe and the Rebbitzin walked out of 770 more than once or twice as a couple. There's not a single photograph of that. And the reason there's not a photograph of that because Chassidim had enough seichel to understand that that was not their place. Later on, when Chassidim became more, and for some reason more Chassidim somehow means more foolish Chassidim, another person told me that the Rebbe and the Rebbitzin would never walk out of 770 together. The Rebbe would walk out first, she'd sit in the car, and the Rebbe would follow her. So apparently when Lubavitch was smaller, it had more seichel, more common sense, and they left the Rebbe and the Rebbitzin alone. And they would walk out of 770 as a couple, get into the car and go home. So on one occasion, it was pouring. And they walked out together, and the Rebbitzin says to the Rebbe, it's raining. And the Rebbitzin says to the Rebbe says to the Rebbitzin, but you have an umbrella. And the Rebbe said to the Rebbe, and you don't have an umbrella. So they turned around and went back into 770. I had told this story before incorrectly. I went back and I confirmed it with my source. They turned around, went back, and back into the Rebbe's room, and within a minute the rain stopped. They went out, they went home. But the Rebbe wouldn't use an umbrella, and he was also discouraged other people from doing so. And from what I understand, the idea was that rain is a bracha. I guess if you're wearing a new sheitel or a brand new hat, that's a costly bracha, but who knows how valuable that bracha would be. It's all I got. That's all I know.